G'day everyone, Jamie here from Anaconda, and I'm here today to talk to you about setting up your Dune 4-wheel drive rooftop tent. I'll take you through the ins and outs when installing it, set up and pack down, also maintaining it. Plus, we'll look at some of the cool accessories you can add to your rooftop tent setup to really take things to the next level. Installing and using a rooftop tent isn't super complicated, but it is important to get everything right, so let's get stuck in. Now that you've got your rooftop tent, you're bound to be keen to mount it up and get adventure ready. But remember, proper installation is key. It's not just for performance, but for safety too. So before you do anything else, be sure to check your vehicle's roof rack or canopy is rated to handle the combined weight of the tent and its occupants. Most rooftop tents are designed to fit standard roof racks, but double check the load rating and spacings between the bars. If you're using the canopy or platform rack, ensure it's strong enough and the mounting points are secure. The aim here is to spread the weight evenly and keep the tent stable no matter where your adventure takes you. Having the right mounting setup also improves your fuel efficiency and reduces noise and long-term wear on your vehicle. Take the time to follow the manufacturer's guidelines for both your rooftop tent and your roof rack closely. It's worth taking the time to get right because secure foundations means smoother setup and more peace of mind when you hit the road. Before you even think about lifting that tent onto your roof, make sure the roof racks you're going to attach it to are installed properly, in the right position, and are capable of handling the load. Check all the bolts and brackets are tightened to the manufacturer's specifications and they're correctly spaced to fit the tent's mounting channels. Incorrectly installed roof racks are not only extremely dangerous for you and other people on the road, but they may void your warranty and insurance. If you're unsure at all, refer back to the roof rack's installation guide or contact the supplier to make sure you're doing it right. When it comes to weight, there are a few things to consider. You'll need to find out your vehicle's dynamic roof load limit, which is the maximum weight the manufacturer says can be safely carried on your roof while you're driving. The combined weight of your rooftop tent, racks, and anything else on your roof needs to be within this limit. When you're parked, the weight of your rooftop tent and the people who are going to be in it, plus the weight of any gear on the roof, will all need to be within your vehicle's static roof load limit, the max that it can hold while you're not driving. The static and dynamic limits for your vehicle should be listed in your owner's manual. Make sure you check your state and territory's regulations for rooftop tents too. If you've got too much weight up there, it's not just bad for your handling and fuel efficiency, it can damage your vehicle and it can be really dangerous, so don't risk it. Nobody knows your vehicle better than its manufacturer, so get in touch with them if you're unsure or need more information, and play it safe. Now, let's take a look at what comes in the box. Aside from the rooftop tent itself, you'll find all the bolts, nuts, washers and attachments you'll need to mount your tent in here, plus all the tools it needs to put it on, and even a handy tool bag to put them in when you're done. Everything you need is in the package, so you shouldn't need anything else to get the job done, other than a mate to help you put it in position. It's a good idea to keep the tool bag in your vehicle so you can easily make adjustments when you're on the road, for your safety and others on the road as well. If you've gone with the Dune 4-wheel drive clamshell or premium hardtop rooftop tent, you'll have roof racks that go on the top of the tent for extra storage. So let's get these installed first. You can install these two detachable bars horizontally by inserting the feet of the roof racks into the frame slots on both sides of the rooftop tent. Then adjust the heights of the bar and screw them in tightly with the hex bolt and washers. All that's left to do now is to lock the handle onto the front door of the tent and you're all set. Now let's move on to actually installing your rooftop tent. When you go to do it, a little teamwork will go a long way, since the size and weight can make lifting these solo a little bit tricky. So grab a mate or two to help you lift the tent onto the roof racks carefully and safely. Having extra hands will prevent any accidents or scratches to your vehicle too. All Dune 4-wheel drive rooftop tents come with two sets of T-bolts, 35mm and 50mm, so you can use whichever set fits your setup. If your roof racks are short, the shorter T-bolts may be best so it doesn't scrape your roof. But for the larger racks, the longer bolts will allow the U-bar to wrap around. All the rooftop tents use the same mounting system too, so the following steps apply to all models. Insert the T-bolt through the slider, then slide them through the guide rail at the bottom of the rooftop tent. Then just pop on the big washer and screw the lock nut tightly with the supplied wrench. Once the T-bolts are positioned correctly, grab the U-bracket and slide it into the bolts wrapping around the roof racks. Insert the T-bolt through the U-shaped bracket, put a small washer on it and screw onto the lock nut. Do the same thing on the other end of the U-bracket, then repeat the process for the other three, making sure each U-bracket is positioned around the roof rack. Make sure it sits evenly on the vehicle and check that everything is good and tight. To ensure it's solid in place, Give it that trusty shake test before you hit the road. Be sure to tighten the lock nuts regularly, especially if you're going to tackle corrugated tracks. Now we can move on to actually using your new camping penthouse. Before you head off on your first adventure, it's a good idea to set up your rooftop tent at home first. Doing a trial run will help you get familiar with using it, check that everything's working properly, and make setting up when you're at campsite a whole lot easier. You'll know where each part goes, how the ladder fits, and how the poles and buckles work before you go out bush. Once you've done it once or twice, the process will be second nature, so you spend less time fiddling around and more time relaxing. Basically, the setup process for the clamshell and the premium hardtop models goes like this. You release all the tent buckles, hook up the ladder, and gently push the roof upwards. The gas struts will do all the heavy lifting for you. Once it's up, it's best to put the locking sticks into the gas struts to take the load off them so they last longer. Next, release the elastic ropes and hook on both sides. If you've got the clamshell model, extend the front pole until it locks. Unzip the ceiling fabric to expose the tensioner pole. Stretch each side out of it and lock the clasps. Finally, take out the spring rods and use them to prop up the awnings. When it's time to pack up, the process is just as easy, but in reverse. Start by removing the spring rods from the side awnings. For the clamshell, loosen the top support lever now and lower the front U-pole. Hook the elastic ropes on both sides and tuck it away. Then press the cover down, folding in the fabric as you go. Finally, remove the ladder and stow it away in your vehicle and lock all the tent's buckles. Once everything's secure, give your mounting hardware a quick check to make sure everything's tight and in good shape, and you're all done. For the compact rooftop tent, setup is equally simple. Start by releasing all the buckles around the tent, push the tent shell upwards, then push the button on each side on the front U-pole and carefully extend it until the buttons lock into the upper holes. Next, unzip the ceiling fabric to expose the dual tensioner pole and carefully stretch out each side of the fabric and lock the clasp. When it comes time to fold down your compact rooftop tent, loosen the top support lever, push the buttons on the front U-pole and carefully lower it until it locks into position. Hook the elastic rope on both sides, tuck in the shoe pockets and press down the tent cover, tucking the fabric in on both sides. Then just lock all the buckles around the tent, look over the mounting hardware and hand check it for tightness. Then you're all set. On any model, if you have any problems with your gas struts, check that they're not covered by fabric and listen for any air leaks from the struts. Also, opening the rooftop tent whilst there's still gear on the roof racks can put too much pressure on the struts, so unload everything from the top first. If a strut has lost pressure, it'll need replacing. This is normal with extended wear and tear, so it may not be covered by a warranty, but you can get a replacement at your local Anaconda store and just loosen the screws to swap it in. Safety is key when traveling with a rooftop tent. Drive to conditions, factor in the extra weight and bulk, and check your tent's fittings and straps at the start of every trip at regular intervals if you're on a long drive. Don't use your tent if you spot any damage, and remember that incorrect setup can lead to loose loads or even accidents. Keep in mind your vehicle's added height, adjust for driving in high winds and corners, and always remove your tent before using a car wash. Finally, if you're not using your rooftop tent for a while, take it off your vehicle to reduce drag, save fuel, and prolong its lifespan. When it comes time to store it, make sure it's completely dry. If it's at all damp, open it up and let it air out in a dry, shaded spot. Keep it in a cool, dry place, ideally off the ground and out of direct sunlight. To clean it up, first brush off dirt and dust with a soft cloth. And if it's really dirty, use a mild soap and lukewarm water to clean it. It's also a good idea to lubricate the zips occasionally with a silicone-based product to stop them from sticking. With a bit of care and attention, your rooftop tent will be your home away from home on countless adventures. Just briefly, I want to touch on condensation, which is something you're bound to encounter, especially in cool or humid conditions. It happens when warm air from inside the tent meets colder fabric or shell. To avoid condensation, try to keep some ventilation going overnight by opening a window flap or vent slightly to allow moisture to escape. Running a fan helps too, and you can also use a small moisture absorber inside the tent if you're camping in damp conditions. The great thing about Dune 4-wheel drive rooftop tents is they come equipped with loads of features that'll ensure you have the most comfortable camping experience of your life. But if you really want to take your setup to the next level, there are loads of accessories that can elevate things even more. You can add an annex and extra awnings for more storage room and space to spread out, or makes your sleeping setup even more plush with things like fitted sheets, a mattress topper, or a self-inflating mat. And add-ons like clip-on fans or even AC units can help you stay comfy on the hottest days. Plus, we're constantly adding more rooftop tent accessories to our collection, so the personalization possibilities are endless. So there you have it. You ought to have a pretty good idea on how to install, use, and maintain your rooftop tents now. You're bound to have some unforgettable adventures with your new setup, so be sure to share them on our socials and show off all the places you've seen from your cozy rooftop nest. And if you need any help with your tent or you're looking for extra bits to make your setup even better, pop into your local Anaconda store. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more tips, gear guides, and adventure inspiration.